En ons gaste vanaand is Paul Marie en Chris Mills. Die twee manne daar van die Kaap is die stigters van Piper Video en hulle maak wiskunde video's wat vir enige iemand beskikbaar is. Hulle sluit ook vanaand soos Herman Wasserman via Skype by ons aan vanuit Kaapstad. Hallo Paul, hallo Chris.
Goeienaand Maria.
Ek is Kabous.
Ekskuus.
Ek dink daai fout gaan nog baie kom. Chris, could you please explain the concept behind Piper Video and how it works exactly, just shortly?
Okay, so the idea is we are trying to replicate having your own private tutor, but making it accessible to everyone in the country. So you have your past exam papers that you use as practice for your studying, and if you get stuck, you activate a video that helps you, and that's how the platform works, in short.
Well, it looks very entertaining. I mean, does one have to be a good actor and have a degree in mathematics to be able to do such a thing?
Well, I think that's Paul's role.
I think that at the heart of any good teacher is a bit of a suppressed actor, and I think that we like to try and put as much fun into the teaching, which is why it is helpful to have a bit of an actor inside of you.
Nou, ek weet nie of julle die vorige onderhoud gesien het nie, maar die taal is 'n groot kwessie in Suid-Afrika. Dink julle ons skenk genoeg aandag of gee genoeg aandag aan wiskunde? En hoekom is wiskunde eintlik een van die belangrikste hoekstene vir education? Why is it such an important cornerstone for education?
Well, for the universities, it is one of the most reliable measures to see if an individual is going to be able to handle that level of difficulty in terms of the workload. But at the same time, it's also the cornerstone of so many important jobs that we need in our country. Engineers, for example, you really need to have your maths in place to fulfill the skilled jobs that are required in a developing country such as ours. So we do give a lot of attention to maths in our country. We can obviously give a bit more, but it is something that is at the center of our education policy at the moment.
Chris, so you're also a teacher. How does your day work? I mean, do you go into, you teach in kykNET, if I'm not mistaken. Do you drive there every morning and then you teach your classes, and when do you record your videos?
Well, yeah, this is Paul. So Paul's also the teacher. I have taught in kykNET at the same school as Paul, but I don't teach there anymore. I'm now full-time Paper Video, whereas Paul also juggles his teaching work in kykNET.
So waar kry jy die tyd?
Wow. Well, we have worked every single weekend and every single evening for the last 10 to 12 weeks or so now. We personally do a lot of work on the Sundays. The videos that you see now, we spent about 16 hours for 6 different Sundays recording those videos in a small studio in Cape Town, and we made the time. It was an important enough project for us.
Nou, baie mense in Suid-Afrika is besig met projekte en ek dink baie mense se harte voel asof hulle iets wil, 'n verskil wil maak ensovoorts. Hoe weet jy maak 'n verskil? Kry jy regtig goeie terugvoer?
Yeah, well, okay. I would say the main feedback comes from students on our workshops that we currently run. So they literally fill out questionnaires to let us know how they felt it helped them. And then another very good indication is how viral something goes. So to what extent do people share it with other people? Because obviously they're only going to share it if they found that it helped them. So if our numbers grow outside of our own community in which we're advertising, then that is a very good indication that the project is working, that people are finding it useful.
So, dis interessant, die nuwe mode is om viral video's van wiskunde te deel. Dit klink vir my baie goed. Paul, ek gaan dit nou sê vir die kykers en dis vir ons baie lekker om dit uit te vind. Jou ma is die premier van die Wes-Kaap, Helen Zille.
Sy is.
Ja. Die eenvoudige vraag is jy enigstens so sê, ek is seker jy's ook baie soos jou baie slim pa, maar is dit vir jou belangrik om die hele land te bereik en hoekom?
Dit is belangrik om die hele land te bereik. But we think that it's really important to reach everyone, and it's why in a big way we decided to make the resource free of charge. We think that it's exceptionally important that everyone has quality education freely available to them. We don't think that individuals should have to pay huge sums of money to gain access to quality teaching, which is why we ultimately made the resource free. We do understand, however, that a lot of our resources based on the internet, which is why we also created DVDs with our videos available on them as well. And that is for the communities which don't have access to internet, don't have access to data and such things like that.
The irony is that children that have more and come from privileged backgrounds now don't have an excuse not to access mathematics. They can also download it. Just on a little bit of a down note, you have been the victim of an armed robbery in the area where you teach. So crime and violence, does it make it difficult to stay positive about the future of South Africa and to stay a teacher in those areas?
Well, if anything, it strengthens our resolve. In terms of providing this project free of charge. We fully accept and acknowledge that sometimes turning to crime is as a result of your circumstances and the difficulty that you had to undergo yourself. And if anything, access to education can just stop that from happening. So when I went through that armed robbery, it was a bit of a distressing experience for myself, but at the same time, it just strengthened our resolve to carry on with that video.
Sure. Baie lekker boodskap daar van Paul Marie en Chris Mills. It was very good to talk to you guys. Vir meer besonderhede oor Pyper Video, besoek die webwerf by pypervideo.co.za. En onthou, die matriekeksamen is net om die draai, daar's nou geen verskoning meer om lekker daar op die rusbank te sit nie. Gaan sit maar daar voor jou rekenaar, as jy nie voor die boeke wil inskuif, soos wat ons ook maar nog soms maak nie. Ja, papier bestaan steeds. Vind gerus meer uit oor hierdie inspirerende manne se projek daar op hulle webtuiste.